Picture this, San Francisco, 2007. A huge design conference hits town. Hotels, sold out. Not a single room left. Travelers are panicking. But so are two roommates, Brian Chesky and Joe Gebbia, staring at a rent bill they can't pay. They're young, creative, and broke. San Francisco rent is brutal. They look around, what do they have? A bit of space and a few air mattresses. Suddenly a wild idea. What if they rent out those airbeds to conference goers who can't find a hotel? It sounds crazy. Who'd pay to sleep on an air mattress in a stranger's living room? But they throw up a basic website, snap some photos, and wait. 3 people book. 3 actual guests, $80 a night each. The guests sleep on air mattresses, share the living room, and love it. Brian and Joe make rent. But more importantly, an idea is born. Airbed and breakfast. Simple, direct, and just crazy enough to work. That's how a rent problem sparked a travel revolution. From a desperate need, a new way to travel was born. It started with airbeds, but it wouldn't stop there. This was the beginning of something huge. 2 broke designers, 3 guests, and a living room floor. That's how Airbnb started, out of necessity with a dash of creativity. Sometimes the best ideas come from the tightest spots. Who knew a rent bill could change the world? The travel industry would never be the same. All because 2 guys needed to pay the rent, and dared to try something different. The rest? History in the making. From airbeds to a global phenomenon, it all started with, oh crap, rent. That first taste of success was electric. Brian and Joe knew they had something bigger than airbeds. They brought in Nathan Blecherzik, the tech genius, and rebranded as Airbnb. Short, catchy, ready for the world. The idea exploded. No longer just airbeds. People listed spare rooms, then whole apartments, then houses, even castles and tree houses. Suddenly you could stay anywhere. A Paris loft, a Hawaiian treehouse, a Scottish castle. The variety was mind-blowing. It became a global treasure hunt for unique places. Hosts and guests were both excited. Bookings trickled in, then poured. From a handful of cities to thousands worldwide, Airbnb grew at breakneck speed. More listings brought more travelers brought more hosts. The snowball effect was real. The company learned fast, mistakes sure, but also big wins. They tapped into a new kind of travel, authentic, local, personal. Airbnb wasn't just about cheap beds anymore, it was about unique experiences. Travelers wanted to live like locals, not just visit. That was the magic. The secret sauce. Airbnb became a new way to see the world. Not just a company, a movement. From a living room floor to a global stage. The journey was just beginning. The world was ready for something different. And Airbnb delivered. Suddenly anyone could open their home to the world, and anyone could feel at home anywhere. That's how you change travel, one listing at a time. The possibilities, endless. Airbnb wasn't just growing, it was redefining travel, all from a simple idea and a couple of airbeds. Airbnb realized people wanted more than a bed, they wanted experiences. In 2016, they launched Airbnb Experiences. Now you could book a pasta class in Rome, a surf lesson in Hawaii, or a street art tour in Berlin. These weren't tourist traps, they were real, local adventures. Hosts could share their passions, guests could dive into local culture. It deepened Airbnb's promise, live like a local, not just stay like one. Experiences turned Airbnb into a full travel company, not just a booking site. Then they thought about business travelers, people who needed Wi-Fi, a desk, easy check-in. Airbnb for Work was born, with curated listings for business trips. Companies started booking Airbnbs for employees, often more comfortable, sometimes cheaper than hotels. Smart move. Meanwhile, the tech kept improving. The website and app got faster, easier, more intuitive. Booking was a breeze. Searching, messaging, paying, simple. User experience became a top priority, because if it's complicated, people leave. In the digital world, ease is everything. Airbnb made it look effortless. But behind the scenes, it took relentless work. They kept innovating, kept listening to users. That's how you stay ahead. Not just a place to sleep, a way to experience the world, and yes, reliable Wi-Fi too. Airbnb became the go-to for adventure, comfort, and connection. All in one app. That's how you build loyalty, and keep travelers coming back. So how does Airbnb make money? Simple. They're a marketplace, not a hotel chain. Hosts list their space, set a price, guests book, Airbnb takes a small service fee from both sides. Millions of bookings, small fees, add up fast, no need to own property or hire hotel staff. Their asset is the platform and the community. From Tokyo to Cape Town, Paris to the Irish countryside, Airbnb connects hosts and guests everywhere. The variety is endless. Vacationers, students, families, relocators. The platform adapts to every need. That flexibility is Airbnb's superpower. Hosts earn extra cash, Airbnb earns a little from each stay. It's a win-win. The two-sided marketplace model let them scale globally, fast. You might not get rich renting your spare room, but you can make a dent in your bills. And Airbnb, they make a fortune, one booking at a time. Clever, right? That's the business model in a nutshell. Airbnb didn't just sell rooms, they sold a feeling. In 2014, they rebranded with Belong Anywhere. More than a slogan, it was a mission. It tapped into the universal desire to connect, to feel at home anywhere. This shaped everything. Marketing, website, even the experiences they promoted. Airbnb was about authenticity, about living like a local. It felt personal, not corporate. Their campaigns featured real hosts and guests sharing real stories. No supermodels, just genuine moments. Social media exploded with #Airbnb stories free, authentic advertising. People trust people, not ads. This focus on community set Airbnb apart. Hosts felt proud, guests felt excited. It built loyalty and a sense of belonging. Airbnb became more than a brand, it was a movement, a new way to travel, a more human way, and it worked. Success brought challenges. Cities worried about housing, taxes, and neighborhood impacts. Regulations popped up everywhere. New York, Paris, Barcelona. Airbnb had to adapt, negotiate, sometimes fight. Balancing hosts' needs with local laws was tough. Then came 2020. COVID-19 hit travel like a meteor. Borders closed, flights grounded, bookings vanished. Airbnb faced disaster, layoffs followed. The future looked bleak, but they pivoted, fast. With international travel gone, they focused on local stays, long-term rentals, and remote work getaways. Cleaning protocols and flexible cancellations became the norm. Slowly, travel returned. Different, but alive. The desire to explore and connect didn't die, it just adapted. Airbnb survived by staying nimble. They learned, adjusted, and kept moving. Every crisis brought a new solution. That's resilience. The world changed, and so did Airbnb. The journey wasn't easy, but they kept going, and that made all the difference. What can we learn from Airbnb's wild ride? First, solve a real problem. Brian and Joe needed rent. Travelers needed rooms. Simple. Start small, but think big. They began with 3 airbeds, not 100 cities. Test, learn, improve, then scale. Build a community, not just a customer base. Airbnb made people feel like they belong. Listen to your users, they're your best asset and your best marketing. Be adaptable. The world changes, regulations, pandemics, markets. Airbnb faced storms and kept innovating. Don't give up when things get tough. Find new ways to serve your community. Every challenge is a chance to grow. If you're building something, expect storms. The question is, can you navigate them? Can you learn, adapt, and come out stronger? Airbnb's story says yes. So what's your air mattress idea? The next big thing could start in your living room. All it takes is a problem, a little creativity, and the guts to try. The world is waiting. Go for it.